Hello, podcast listeners. You are now listening to the Coffee, Health, and Science podcast. I'm your host, Jordan River, and I want to thank you for tuning in today. Today we have part 2 of the Colombia trip recap. I cannot describe how amazing that trip was. It was incredible to go and try all the different coffee, see the country of Colombia, but maybe most importantly, to see the coffee farms themselves. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. We have audio from our trip to Finca La Primavera, and the owner of the coffee farm, Fransisco, showed us all of his incredible practices, very high-tech practices, very knowledgeable farmer. It was very clean and efficient. I was stunned at how he ran the farm. And Fransisco took us around on a tour of his farm, and eventually we settled down in a little gazebo, and it started to drizzle rain, and you can hear the wildlife. It's really an incredible interview. I sat with him for maybe 25 minutes, and we spoke. This is just some of the audio. We have a lot of content, and I think we're going to put it into documentary form, so stay tuned for that. But I'm going to share this interview with you today because it's truly incredible. So I hope you enjoy the sounds of Finca La Primavera, and I hope you enjoy the interview with Fransisco, truly an amazing human being. Thank you all so much for listening. Enjoy the show.
All right. Hit it.
Okay, so Fransisco, first of all, thank you for inviting us to your wonderful farm. This is incredible. It's one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever had in my life, so thank you.
Okay, you're welcome anytime.
So let's start from the beginning. You are a third-generation Colombian coffee farmer, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. My grandfather arrived here around 1970s in the beginning. There was already coffee around here. He purchased a little farm and started producing coffee, keeping the tradition.
So you started in traditional, quote, traditional agricultural practices, yes?
Yes, it was traditional at the beginning.
Until your generation?
Until my generation, yes.
Talk to me about that transition. Was it hard? Was it scary? Was it risky?
Very risky. We invest and we didn't see the results. We invest a lot of money, and when we go to sell the coffee, people say, okay, well, we're going to pay conventional prices. We're going to receive commodity prices, even though you invest more, but it doesn't show in the cupping. So that's our offer. So that didn't cover the cost of production. But we keep looking for, okay, someone is going to need this, someone is going to appreciate this eventually. So we bet on that.
That's perfect. How long did it take you to realize a point where you were profitable again? Or let's say better off than you were?
In 2018.
How many years after the transition total?
Wow, from 2012.
6 years?
6 years, yes.
Wow. Was a lot of that, did it take you 6 years to build your soil?
Yes, to build the soil, to have a good production, from the beans to be tasty, to be good, to get to know all the process, how do we, for example, fight disease in organic production and all of that.
Wow. So when I look around here, it doesn't look like a normal coffee farm with rows and rows of coffee plants, no companion plants, pure coffee. Talk to me about what it's like walking through what looks like the jungle here, and this is your farm.
Yes, this is more like a forest, because you can see there is natural streams. You can see a lot of trees, even not in a perfect way, maybe random sometimes, but that's what we want to emulate, to have like a forest, like for example, like a habitat for migratory birds or something.
You're an animal lover yourself.
Yes,
right?
yes, I appreciate seeing, just taking a photograph or something. Yes, that's very amazing.
How meaningful is it that your farming practices are allowing different wildlife to incorporate into this habitat?
Make us very happy when we are walking and we see, for example, a blue butterfly or a hummingbird or something that we haven't seen before. We are very happy because we know that because of what we're doing, he's back. The animal is back.
That's absolutely incredible. Talk to me about what steps you've taken to rebuild your soil. What was that project like, trying to recharge your soil over 6 years?
Yes, first when we start working with Andrea, she is an agronomist. So we analyzed the soil. It was very acid. So they didn't say, okay, the soil is only good for make bricks or something. It's not good for agriculture. But let's keep doing what we can do. So we put some organic compounds like compost, and we make some teas. I don't know. She mixed some manure and some other things, and we start betting on that. and we saw the results. We saw some nature flowering from the floor.
Wow.
And we begin to see some microbes and bugs in the soil, and that's when we realized we're on the right way.
Mm-hmm. Was it a transition from a mindset of killing, sterility,
Yes.
keeping away pests, to a mindset of letting life flourish and encouraging life to flourish?
Yes, that's right. That's right. We really realize that killing everything is not the solution. Maybe it's a lot of production in the first year, but at the end you're gonna have useless soil, arid and no water, not a good habitat for the plant. So we decide, okay, our bet is gonna be, or we are gonna go organic, even though it doesn't pay us right now. We are not gonna go conventional. We're gonna keep this. It's like a philosophy, not like just a profit decision.
Incredible.
It increases a lot the productivity without harming the environment. So it's possible. It costs a little more because we have to put like organic tea for each plant. It has microorganisms, nutrients, rocks, and everything that a plant needs to live.
Wow. What does coffee mean to the Colombian people and to you as far as your livelihood and industry?
Yes, I think that coffee in Colombia became like part of our life. I think that outside Colombia, people know us because of the coffee. I had the chance to live in Japan, and one of the obligated question that everybody asks is about coffee. Even we have a professor that gave me seeds from all over the world and tell me, okay, you can tell me which one is your coffee. And that time I didn't know anything about coffee, so I feel like, okay, I'm representing something that I don't know. So I came back to, okay, I'm gonna learn about coffee because it's in my family also.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that this will add an extra layer of pride to the Colombian people if they can be on the forefront of this regenerative agriculture? I think people do associate Colombians with coffee, and it seems like a lot of your peers around here are getting, wise to this regenerative agriculture. Is it kind of beginning to spread?
Yes, I think so. I think that is a solution for Colombia. Colombia have an issue. It's because of the landscape is very high mountain. So we cannot produce with a lot of machinery, for example, and our labor costs are high. So the only way that we can survive in the future is specialty coffees or other ways to show that we can produce something different from low cost. We can now compete with low cost in Colombia. We have to bring something else, and regenerative agriculture is one way that we can prove. And also we have a lot of biodiversity in Colombia. We have many species, and we cannot keep like breaking everything and damaging everything. We need to keep this alive for future generations.
Mm-hmm. I know pesticide use is a large concern among the Colombian people.
Yes.
How do you manage to have pest control practices that rely on spraying as little as possible?
Well, we rely on the nature. For example, there is a prey and there is a predator. So we want to have like an equilibrium. Okay, if we have too much of one thing, it's going to be one problem. So for example, if we have a drill in our coffee, we have also a fungus that fight that drill. But we do not exterminate the drill because otherwise we exterminate the fungus. So we want to keep everything in equilibrium. This is the key.
Wow, so you're using natural means like fungus and different microbes to combat pests.
Yes, that's right.
That's incredible. How has this regenerative agriculture affected the surrounding communities?
Well, this is an open farm. Anyone that wants to come here to learn is open. So we don't have any secrets here. We want to share every knowledge that we have for people can do the same that we are doing here. Because we know this is not only a competitive business issue. This is something that is for survival of the human being. I don't know. And so everyone around that come here and see that it's possible to make profit, to survive, to have everything like they can see here. They can say, okay, we can do it. If we want to work together, okay, that's okay.
You're a powerful example to take that leap and be at the forefront of this. A lot of countries try to reshape, war-torn countries try to reshape their communities with farming. A lot of times, take the soldiers and turn them into farmers. If coffee continues to expand, if this type of coffee continues to expand, Do you think that's going to be beneficial to the locals in all these different coffee areas like yours?
Yes, I think that it is a conscious thing, because when the consumer knows that I'm gonna pay more because I like this product, because this product take care of the land, take care of the wildlife, and is organic produced, then I'm gonna pay a little bit more. Then we are going to be able to produce more. But if the consumer in a supermarket, to save some money, is gonna go for the cheapest one, then it's gonna be very difficult. But of course, if we make this profitable, this kind of business, maybe more people are gonna be willing to do it. Because in Colombia, for example, we are in a post-war. We have many people in the fighting against government, and now they have programs to come back to the society with production. But they are usually thinking in the profit only, so they are conventional producers. But I think we can spread the idea, we can spread the thought that we can do it in a good way, in a long-term way.
Well, let's be honest. Tell me if you agree with this. If you're a real coffee connoisseur, whether you're drinking it and you're in a coffee shop in the west coast of America, or you're a farmer growing it, if you're a real coffee connoisseur and you care about the plant and you care about the end product, this is the best way to farm, right?
Yeah.
This is the plant that's going to be the most robust. It's going to have the most expression, the most complex profile. Is there any untruth to what I just said, or would you agree with that?
No, I agree. I agree that organic production is gonna make the best bean in every way. And I think that, for example, when you are taking something that has poison in it, is gonna be bad for your health. If there is some residue that I can measure in the end in the cup, and it has a chemical residue, for example, from a bad chemical, it's gonna do bad for your health. So in a nutrition and in a taste way, you're gonna also be looking for something healthy for you. And I think it's gonna be a trend. For example, in Denmark, I think that now they are demanding only organic. So specialty is gonna become specialty organic. Otherwise, there's not gonna be specialty coffees.
Talk to me about your various certifications and what they mean. What they stand for and what they mean to you personally.
Yes. Be certified is a challenge because it's not easy. They come and I know why. They check everything. They take samples to the lab. They check the soil. If we put something, maybe or someone before us put something that is still in the soil. So they check. They're very, picky about everything. They're trying to find if there is something wrong. But I understand why, because they're trying to foresee if we are going to provide to the country that we're exporting meet the rules that they are creating. For example, if we are going to send coffee for the US, we have to meet the NOP standard of the USDA. So they come to see if we are doing okay. So we are putting everything bad, if there is enough supervision to see if we are not mixing conventional coffee with other coffee. So it was a challenge, but we got certified.
So do some farmers follow these certifications but don't go through to pay for it because it's expensive? It hurts their bottom line.
Yes, of course. In Colombia, we have small farmers. Like the average is 1 hectare per farmer. So there's no way they can pay for a certification.
Would it be helpful if they made it cheaper, easier for someone to come in and say, yes, you are certified?
Yes, or financial, but any institution that say, okay, let's go and check all these small ones and pay for them certification so they can trade certified coffee, certified product.
Interesting. Again, that's good for the country.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And later we start with the bird friendly because we love birds, and we were looking for many birds here. Many people come bird watching here. So, okay, let's see if we can get something else from the birds, and we found there was a bird friendly certification.
Is that the highest level of organic? Is that the hardest to achieve, bird friendly certification? Yes, because
you have to be organic certified, and you also have to meet other requirements. Like you have to have migratory birds in the farm. We are going to have like different levels of shadow. We have low shadow, medium shadow, and high shadow. So you have to use some time just sowing the trees and taking care of everything.
You're integrating everything here. It's not just, coffee plants here. You have so many companion plants, and you chose them specifically, right?
Yes.
What do you grow amongst your coffee and why?
We have like helpful trees, because there are trees that provide nutrients to the soil, like for example nitrogen that is very difficult in organic agriculture to fix in the soil. So we use that kind of plants to provide food for the agriculture, and also to provide home for birds and butterflies and other life.
It's incredible. Do you think happy plants make better coffee?
Of course. I'm convinced of that. Yes.
I love that. It's great. It looks like people are finally appreciating, the market is finally appreciating what you do. Mm-hmm. Is that the key to this success? Like, I know now you're working with Purity, mm-hmm. and they're helping you, buy equipment and get these certifications. Is that the missing link? That education for people to know what practices you're doing and that they matter?
Yes, it's a key thing. When we begin to work with Purity, things changed in this farm. Before that, we were running from every coffee event in the world, trying to find the one, like a mate or I don't know, like a date. It was amazing because we were going from that importer to that owner to that other. We couldn't find anyone that appreciated what we were doing. Are we crazy, or are we doing something that people doesn't want? But when we find Purity, they came. Okay, this is something that we appreciate. We're willing to pay your effort. We're willing to help you, and we are gonna build together a better product, a healthier product. And I think that one link that join together is the health issue. We wanna produce something for the health, and they want also to provide coffee to maintain healthy, but also for people that are not healthy right now to become healthy with coffee.
Is there any doubt in your mind that regenerative agriculture produces healthier, more nutritious?
No. I'm pretty sure that is a healthier product in every kind of grow.
This is coming from the grower, so I think you may know by your vast experience.
Yes, of course. We are convinced of that. We're convinced that everything that we keep natural, sustainable, healthy is going to reflect in the final product, and it's going to reflect in your health, in the people's health.
So what can we do to help you? Consumers, do they need to pay attention to this stuff? Vote with their dollar, meaning put your money where your morals are. Is that your advice?
Yes, that advice. When you go to the grocery store, think about what you're buying. Not only how much it's gonna cost, but how much it's gonna cost to the planet. How is it gonna cost to your son, to your daughter, your grandsons? How is it gonna cost? Because there is not only what you pay, it's what the planet is paying for to get what you're buying. So buy organic, buy regenerative, ecological, animal protection, and everything that we can do to improve.